Hazardous waste disposal is essential in the protection of our water, food, livestock, and air, but can pose many risks ranging from the explosions to biological attacks. Therefore, hazardous waste disposal should be carried out more cautiously with lower risk possibilities. Before I go more in depth about the pros and cons of different hazardous waste disposal methods, it is important to know what exactly is hazardous waste. According to a source called Environmental Science from 2009 from the Gale Opposing Viewpoints database, the definition defined by the EPA is any material that are dangerous or potentially harmful to human health or the environment. Another article from Gale Opposing Viewpoints called Hazardous and Radioactive Waste further explains the properties of these wastes. With each attempt to dispose or treat a small amount of the on average 265 million metric tons of waste that is produced every year, there is always a chance on an incident because of the harmful properties. These harmful properties include being ignitable, corrosive, reactive, and even toxic. An incident that can occur can range from a simple contamination to explosions or even a biological attack. According to the EPA website, there are several methods of disposal. The first method is usually a landfill. A landfill is used with non-liquid hazardous waste. They are usually called hazardous waste RCRA Subtitle C landfills and are special because it allows for them to cradle or grave the waste. The design calls for 2-liners, double leachate collection, and removal settings as well as many safeguards for other protection reasons. There are many benefits for hazardous waste disposal in a landfill, such as constant care, adequate facilities, and no constant transportation costs. However, several detriments include a limited amount of storage as well as the expensive construction of the structure. The waste can also contaminate the surrounding environment if an incident were to occur. Another treatment is surface impoundment. A surface impoundment is an area like a man-made excavation or a topographic depression in which a liquid hazardous waste can be stored. They also require a double liner system. There are several benefits in which the way the treatment is undergone, such as it is under constant monitoring and inspection, but downfalls include an expensive construction as well as loss of man hours and surveillance. There are also several other strict requirements. A third option is using landfill units, so that sunlight as well as soil microbes can help to treat the waste. This process includes putting the waste on top of or in higher levels of soil to transform, degrade, or immobilize the contents. There are many benefits, including throughout the whole process there is constant monitoring, so there are no incidents, but detriments include several specific guidelines for construction and its durability. If a unit isn't strong enough, there is constant risk of environmental contamination. Another option of hazardous waste treatment and storage are geological repositories. These include but aren't limited to salt dome formations, salt bed formations, underground mines, and underground caves. It provides many advantages in this type of disposal because waste is away from the surrounding environment as well as there are large amounts of storage. However, cons are there are varying technological standards as well as requirements based upon design, construction, operation, and maintaining. They also don't have the same accessibility because they're closed to keep the surrounding inhabitants healthy. In recent history, a new viable option has become apparent: recycling. Because of this, advancements of being an advocate for the benefits of hazardous waste has become more attractive. According to the EPA website, hazardous waste recycling is a process in which a waste is used, reused, or reclaimed. In the U.S. alone, over 39 million tons of hazardous waste was recycled. Hazardous waste disposal poses many benefits to the world. According to Kate O'Neill and a ProCrest source, it is a global challenge. If proper disposal is used, then hazardous waste disposal is easier because it reduces the possibility of hazardous waste being dumped into unrestricted areas and harming the environment. Unrestricted dumping will become obsolete if hazardous waste disposal is utilized, and this is one of the main advantages of the whole process. In recent times, hazardous waste has been dumped from rich communities and areas to poorer regions. A prime example of the events that can transpire if hazardous waste disposal isn't utilized correctly is the Love Canal tragedy. This incident that will be a precedent and constant reason for hazardous waste disposal is shown in a Gale Opposing Viewpoints source named Environmental Science. In this incident, the river was used to dump waste. Later in history, it became a region where houses and schools were built. Soon after it exploded, it wreaked havoc upon the environment and its inhabitants. It caused many changes in climate, birth defects, and sickness. One of the major chemicals that was leaked was benzene, a well-known human carcinogen. If hazardous waste disposal continues, incidents like this will decrease. Hazardous waste can easily make its way into our environment, thus making it even more important for hazardous waste disposal to continue. Wastes are transported through liquids and gases and have a high likelihood of contamination. In an article by Access Science, factors that increase contamination are solubility, density, and vapor pressure, as well as physical properties. Some of the contaminants are hydrophilic and can easily dissolve into water. The solubility can further be split depending on whether or not a substance can be dissolved in an organic substance. Personally, I believe that hazardous waste disposal must be a continued effort. Because of the tragedies that have occurred in the past, it is an absolute necessity to continue the process. The process should be continued because if it is not carried out properly, there are going to be several more accidents like the Love Canal, and that's just not healthy for the environment or the human race. Hazardous waste disposal should be increased to decrease the amount of substance that is illegally dumped. If this process is to continue, it can not only help to clean up the environment, but keep everyone healthy.